Welcome back. Positive stories exist all around us. Right now, there's a local organization that's no stranger to TMG4 News. Ignite the Spirit is going an extra mile, literally, to help firefighters and their families in need. We have with us right now Joe Flick, president of Ignite the Spirit Milwaukee, to talk about a 170-mile bicycle ride that left Milwaukee yesterday and is on its way right now, still today, to the Wisconsin Fallen Firefighter Memorial in Wisconsin Rapids. Wow, Joe, good morning. That is pretty far. That's where my husband is from. So why don't you start by telling us a little more about where this idea even came?
Yeah, well, I think the pandemic obviously caused a lot of people, organizations, and to kind of slow things down and figure out how they wanted to move forward. So this was a project that I think if everything was still full steam ahead, we're not sure if we would have gotten to. And we knew that we wanted to still do something and not just shut everything down. So we started thinking about how we could get people working towards something together and getting them out while still being kind of safe about it and not being indoors. Well, we kind of turned to getting everybody cycling and threw this on the table, and we have 13 firefighters and a couple of civilians that jumped all over it to as you said, put in the extra mile and come up to Rapids with us. And
That's awesome.
We may have all gotten more than we bargained for.
So where are you right now?
Right now we're in Green Lake, Wisconsin. So we left Milwaukee yesterday and put in 103 miles to get this nice sunset or sunrise that I have coming up behind me. And some of our cyclists are starting to stir and get ready for day 2.
I bet. We just hit sunrise at 6:06. So tell me about the significance of some of the locations I hear you're stopping at along the way.
Well, so coming here is obviously putting in over 100 miles. We have people joining us that have never cycled before 2 months ago. And for them to do a 100-mile ride in one day is just a testament to the kind of grit and will that they have. And then ending in Wisconsin Rapids with the State Fallen Firefighter Memorial is just to kind of pay homage to those who have gone before us and paid the ultimate sacrifice.
So describe where the money is going to be going to that you're raising.
So all of our riders are responsible for their own fundraising, which some of their links are still live on our Facebook page. And then a portion of those proceeds is going to be set aside in honor of someone that is a huge catalyst for why this organization started. Lieutenant Kristen Zaganek, who passed away in December of 2017 and ultimately led to us forming Ignite the Spirit. And
Awesome.
That's going to be used to set up a scholarship in her name to help support women entering the fire service.
That's wonderful. Where can we go to support you today?
Today, check out our Facebook page, Ignite the Spirit MKE. And like I said, you'll see some of our fundraising links still live, and then hopefully we'll get a chance to do a Facebook Live from there and kind of show you what we're doing as we hit the road.
That's pretty awesome. And you were our Positively Milwaukee Award recipient last year. Tell me what it was like for you.
That was honestly one of the coolest parts of probably the coolest night of my year, but definitely one of the coolest things that's happened in my adult life. Just to be a part of something that showcases so many awesome people in Milwaukee doing work that they think is just normal work to them, but it's actually pretty extraordinary. And it's a pretty humbling experience. And I think that it's something that every one of them would say that it was a complete honor to be a part of.
Joe Flick with Ignite the Spirit, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much, and all the work that you do to show the impact that you're giving it's just unbelievable. We are so happy for you.
Thank you so much, Julia.
And we'll actually show you that Positively Milwaukee story right now.
I could have never imagined that I'd be sitting here at 35 years old with the life that I have because of being able to become a firefighter.
He's exactly Positively Milwaukee. He's the most positive person on his job.
Cares a ton about the department and what he does.
Truthfully, firefighters want to be proactive, and Joe did the proactive step of starting something.
Ignite the Spirit is actually, we work to support firefighters and their families in times of need. I take what we do very personally. In 2006, I was stationed on Brady Street at Engine 6. And it was a weekend. I was off, thankfully. But I had a little brother at the time that had an accident down off of Farwell. He passed away that night. My crew, my guys that worked, were the ones that handled that call. Like, I still think of that. Yeah. That was one of the first times that I got to see kind of how people would rally around you when you needed it. In 2017, we were about to lose one of our firefighters to her battle with cancer.
Lieutenant Kristen Zaganek. She died from cancer that was caused by things that we come in contact with every day.
There were a ton of firefighters helping, but there's only so many firefighters. Like, those resources eventually run out. It'd be great if there was some sort of a formal, ongoing, proactive fundraising that we can do to help.
That's where it all started from.
If one of us went down or one of us needed help, to know that there's a organization like that that's gonna make sure that we're all taken care of, that's love.
The fundraising, the parties that we do, the events that we do, they're all fun, right? But the back end of that is you're gonna go meet a family that's in the middle of something heavy that it's not fun to be around.
We're bad at asking for help because it shows weakness. And I was there. 19 years here in the city and 22 years total, things built up, and I wouldn't ask for help, and I wouldn't ask for help. I mean, I felt like I was at the lowest point of my life. I got to the point last year where there were numerous times where I had either opened the drawer and looked at my 9mm that was sitting there, and a few times where I had actually put it to my head and thought about pulling the trigger. And it came to the point where it was time for me to go get help. It was very last minute, and the plane ticket was going to cost close to $800 to go out and get me help. That's where Joe and Ignite the Spirit stepped in, and they paid for not only my plane ticket to go out there, but for one of our peer support members to fly out with me. If I hadn't gone there, I probably wouldn't be around. I mean, that place saved my life. And they helped me get there.
I think it was probably 6 months or so was when we realized that Tony was going to be hurting in a bad way.
Going on about 5.5, 6 years ago, my wife was first diagnosed with cervical cancer. And then she was clear for about a year. And then it had metastasized or grew to her lungs.
My crew and I were working on Christmas, and I remember getting the phone call from Tony's dad. And it just sucked the life out of the entire day, of all days. It's got to be on Christmas. It was probably about a month went by before we were able to host the benefit.
I tried to help with the mounting medical bills that were coming.
I think the final number, after all was said and done, was a little over $30,000.
That was a big event for us.
Effectively wiped out their medical debts that they had left over from the last couple of years.
It was phenomenal. And the biggest thing about that was that I was able to bring my boys and show them, you're not doing this alone. You have all these people behind you. I don't really know where myself or my family would be if it wasn't just for the individuals and Ignite and Joe and people involved in it.
Having Ignite the Spirit in the City of Milwaukee Fire Department, everyone says is probably one of the greatest things that we've done as a department, and especially Joel taking charge, that we've done in a very, very long time.
He's really taken this organization and has this passion for it that it's amazing.
At the end, you remember the people that were there for you, and you remember the impact that it made. As this grows, I hope that it gives people a chance to interact with their firefighters more, to learn more about our fire department, the people who work for it, the jobs that we do, the different types of things that we face every day, day in and day out. I think we're going to help a lot more people along the way.
We have information on how to support Ignite the Spirit on our website at tmg4.com, and we're also accepting nominations for our 4th annual Positively Milwaukee Awards. Winners could receive up to $5,000 for a charity of their choice. We have the information at tmj4.com/awards to submit. All right, Chris.